It is the Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series, round 2 of 18 from the virtual Chicagoland Speedway. I am Emerson Arden, and I have my colleague Edward Shearer alongside myself in the virtual booth this evening. And we're excited to be bringing you live coverage from virtual Joliet, Illinois. And last time out, we had a wild night at the virtual World Center of Racing, which led to newcomer Carl Burke taking victory in their first ever SRN start. First mile and a half of the season tonight, Ed. What can we expect?
And everyone's coming off that 1 week back in Daytona on the Super Speedway. Chicagoland kind of could play a little bit of a similarity with how it races in these trucks. We're going to probably see a lot of multi-groove racing, with some people wanting to use the bottom to save a little bit of tire. A lot of people wanting to use the top to maybe try to push their way to try to get track position, but it will costly hurt their right rear tire a little bit more. But it'll be interesting to see what the strategy is going to be like tonight, especially in these late night conditions where the track's probably going to be cool, but that top groove might be really slick.
Absolutely, Ed. Summarized beautifully. I think it's going to be a very fun night tonight here at Chicagoland Speedway. And of course, we have our starting lineup ready for action tonight, and we'll go through it. How about Jason Green and Dalton McKinney, row number 1. Row 2 will find Ben Park and Matthew Greathouse. Row 3 will be Byron McDonald and Jeffrey Radke. Row 4, Bob Nestor and Michael Sidor, making it row 5, Andrew Harris and Corey Stahl. Next 10, Ed.
Yeah, in row 6, we got Austin DeLong and Scott Kowal. In row 7, we're going to have Sean Corcoran and Kyle Spees. Row 8, we're going to have Ben Morrow and Sean Long. Row 9, Walt Lepicki and Jeffrey Vickery. And then in row 10, we got Carl Burke and Aaron Gerwitz.
Making our way down, how about Joshua Marcy and James Jackson, row 11. Daniel Park and Nathan De La Rosa, row 12. Jason Kratke and Wally Babb make up 25th and 26th. Aiden Graham and Kyle Ryan, 27th, 28th. Zachary Hines, Spencer Brown, the top 30, with Daniel Miglin and Dustin Sluthier, the 32 drivers racing tonight. And so here we are getting ready for battle here at Chicagoland Speedway. Ed, this is a fun track. One of the oldest racing surfaces we have here on the iRacing NASCAR circuit. And it's a pleasure to be here doing this with you once again here for Speed Racing Network Glytch Truck Series action from Chicagoland at 32 trucks and basically a smaller version of a super speedway. What say you, man? How are you feeling getting ready for this?
Oh, it's going to be exciting. I'm going to be interested to see how some of these drivers are going to play along on these opening laps. As we know, we have that stage coming at lap 25, so I'm going to be interested to see if we're going to see a little bit of passiveness along the maybe top 5, top 6 trucks, and maybe see some desperate people like back in that top 10 to maybe top 15, maybe try to work up their way up there and get some stage points. As we had Daytona to open it last week, Emerson, I think, you take every track with a grain of salt, but it's like this kind of tracks can play into people's favors and maybe try to work up some points. I'm going to be interested to see what the aggression level is going to be like here to start.
Absolutely. And the thing with Speed Racing Network, the regular season is always 13 races, and still is this season. But the season itself is 2 races shorter, with the cut being in the playoffs. So every race still means just a little bit more, setting yourself up right for those playoffs. So if you didn't get a good start last week at Daytona, it is imperative you get a good run here tonight. And so here we go, 32 trucks getting ready to do battle here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Jason Green and Dalton McKinney of the front row. Matthew Greathouse, Ben Park, row number 2. And it is 16 rows of Glytch Truck Series vehicles doubled up and awaiting the iRacing.com safety vehicle to make that hard left-hand turn. It'll be a little late there, but it will do it now. Into the safety of pit lane, and the field is in the hands of Jason Green. Green flag in the air. One lap completed. Jason Green and Dalton McKinney doing heavy battling up here at the front of this pack. How about the one? That is Ben Park trying to scoot into the mix as well, but McKinney trying to make something happen on the high side.
Yeah, a lot of aggressiveness out of McKinney right there. He's got the preferred line on the exits, but I think Jason Green's in a really good spot. Trying to work that bottom. He's going to beat the 46 on entry and clear him. He's going to take control of this field. But it looks like McKinney's trying to answer back and try to get back to the outside of him on his right rear quarter.
Absolutely. So they battle for lead. They battle for third as well. And now Matthew Greathouse takes a stab at Ben Park. And Greathouse clearing his way up off of turn number 2, double wide amongst the front runners and really most of the way down the running order. And we're starting to pack up. Here we go. Green and Greathouse starting to almost tandem here into turns 1 and 2. And a little bit of a blink there for Jason Green. That's going to be something the admins keep an eye on. Greathouse drops down to the apron. And Greathouse trying to get to the quarter panel to 55.
Yeah, Greathouse in a big hurry here to try to get control of this field. McKinney, I think, had a little bit of slip up there on the entry. He's going to cost him big time falling back to third, but looks like he's going to try to power around the outside again, trying to get back to Greathouse's quarter panel, but it looks like he's going to fall in line. Matt Greathouse already with a big, huge kind of swing here, started fourth all the way up to second.
And that was a huge move for Matthew Greathouse. Also another big mover, Austin DeLong in the 89 machine. Flying up this running order, up 3 spots, now trying to make it up 4 here if he can get to the inside of Bob Nestor. And so far he is trying to find his way up to Byron McDonald up the road, and DeLong is going to have that run up off the corner, not clear yet, but will make something happen down the back. Greathouse looks to the outside on Jason Green.
Yeah, right now I'm noticing, Emerson, there's a lot of side-by-side going on, but it looks like that guy on the bottom is going to prevail. It looks like both entry and exit. I just think that outside is just not worked in yet for some of these trucks. And the other thing I'm also noticing, there's a big gaggle of trucks that's separated. Like we have about 16 trucks in this first pack, and then it looks like everybody else is just gaggled up in the whole second pack back there. I don't know if we had a little bit of a accordion effect, but I saw a lot 2 and 3 wide as we went green flag going down into turn 2, so I'm wondering if it had something to do with it.
We had something amiss with Adam Graham. Looks like he took a little bit of an off-track excursion earlier. We'll see if we get a moment later in the broadcast to take a peek at it. We are also racing towards the stage, and our stage break here is at lap 25. And if these drivers can keep it clean to that point, the top 10 will be awarded stage points. And it looks like Greathouse already a little sideways, sitting in that dirty air to 55. And Ed, I know it means a little bit more for the higher horsepowered vehicles, but in these trucks, the dirty air can still be a big factor.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, clean air is going to be a factor no matter what car you're in, particularly this kind of track. It's going to help save a little bit more tire. It's going to help you maybe get a better run on the truck on your inside or outside. But, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of drivers trying to move around and maybe try and find something. I was watching Jay McDonald for a little bit, had a moment with Andrew Harris. And I think Jay McDonald's is really looking for anything he can right now. Right now, he's falling back, and now he's shoving it 3 wide all the way down the back straightaway with, I believe, that's the 36, I believe, of Robert Nestor. There's a lot of movement going on in this middle pack.
As the field works their way off of turn number 4, everyone fanning across the track using all the racetrack. And as opposed to last time out at Daytona, there is no out of bounds here. So you see, oh, we got a wreck in the back. Oh, no. Having a hard time finding it, but the caution has come out, and it's James Jackson, Daniel Miglin have come to rest atop the racetrack.
And James Jackson was up there in that little second pack that was fighting hard.
Try to go back and see what happened here. Maybe a little hard to see, but like James Jackson, Daniel Miglin, the 2 drivers coming together. Just a little contact there on the high side of the racetrack, and you just get dragged the rest of the way.
And I'm hearing over the radio, too. There was a little bit of contact, I believe, as well with the 66 truck, I believe, of Nathan De La Rosa on the front straightaway. So, it looks like a little bit of a issue that they had there on the front straightaway. I guess they were saying that they were 3 wide on the front straightaway.
Yeah,
and I don't think Nathan knew. I don't think Nathan thought he was clear. Maybe try to clear up in front.
No. There's James Jackson in trouble there. Working the caution period here at Chicagoland. We're going to take a step aside real quick and hear quick messages from our partners here at Speed Racing Network. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome, race fans, back to Chicagoland Speedway. Haven't missed much. The restart has happened. Jason Green, Matthew Greathouse, Dalton McKinney still up here at the front, but it's Austin DeLong working his way forward quick here in that 89 machine. Here we are off of turn number 4. Field still going strong. Coming up to the stage caution here, coming up around lap 25.
And McKinney and Greathouse about had a moment there going into turn 1. They were pinching each other going into the corner. Still hard racing, but McKinney's trying to get all he can out of this second, try to get the second spot. Gonna have a little bit of help from behind from Austin DeLong. He's gonna go wide up the racetrack. Maybe look at 3 wide here. Let's see if DeLong cuts the apron, maybe tries to make it 3.
So DeLong right in the rear end there of Matthew Greathouse as everyone works their way back up onto the front straightaway. Greathouse holding second there behind Jason Green.
Oh, maybe a crash in the back of the field. I see a lot of spinning going on. I see about 2 of them.
We have a caution. Looks like that's Nathan De La Rosa's involved. Like Lepicki and Sidor off the track.
I think this had the 66 involved as well.
We'll try to go back and see what happened. I do apologize for the technical difficulties. We catch it a little late, but looks like he gets collected there. Looks like the...
And the race control has just announced as well that that will be the stage end for the first stage.
Well, there you go. That'll put Jason Green as our stage 1 winner. Matthew Greathouse second, DeLong, McKinney, Harris, Ben Morrow, Jeffrey Radke, Cal Spees, Ben Park, and Corey Stahl. The top 10 as the field works their way down pit lane. Step aside once again real quick. Don't go anywhere.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original eSport racing game, This is iRacing.
Welcome, race fans, back to Chicagoland Speedway. We are finally back here. Apologize for the technical difficulties earlier on in the session, but we have had a couple trucks involved in incidents today. Nathan De La Rosa, James Jackson, Daniel Miglin have already left the session today. We were getting ready to go back to racing here for the stage as the iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety down the pit lane. The field in the hands of Jason Green and racing once again from Chicagoland. "32 trucks still running here of the 36 who have started, and it's Jason Green, Matthew Greathouse, Austin along the front row. Ben Morrow up to fourth. McKinney falls back to fifth.
And what Jason Green loves seeing in his mirror is both DeLong and Greathouse being side by side, and either one of them are going to be able to get clear of each other, which is going to help him in his favor be able to be clear for these guys for the moment. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there between Greathouse coming up the track a little bit on DeLong, but still so far side by side with Ben Morrow just hanging behind, watching, waiting patiently for one of these guys to make a mistake for him to slip through.
Absolutely. Everyone running up close and personal. And that's what it's got to be here in the margins when it's so tight in these Glytch trucks, Ed. As you know, these trucks, how they race on iRacing, it's so imperative to run a picture-perfect line around here. And if you can't get there, you got to get as close as you can. These drivers, they know it. They're going at it. Ben Morrow, he's cleared his way up to third. He's blown past Austin DeLong, and Ben Morrow's up 12 from where he started and trying to get second. He's got to the inside. Very aggressive on Matthew Greathouse.
Yeah, very aggressive. I think DeLong noticed. I think he's seeing the future a little bit, thinking if we go green, I don't want to overkill my tires running the top for so long. That bottom lane's preferred to save the tires, while Jason Green is running very comfortably in that first position with the clean air, not being able to use as much tire as possible. So I think Greathouse and Ben are trying to, maybe work a little bit, trying to get a little bit of air. As Ben's throwing a block into DeLong a little bit there, going into turns 1 and 2, looking to the inside now of Matthew Greathouse, who slipped off the bottom just a little bit, and it's going to pay him probably and cost him 2 spots.
Ben Morrow on the aggression now. Jason Green under heavy attack. Heavy pressure here for the top spot here at Chicagoland. This time I will be 71 laps to go. Jason Green trying to defend against the hard-charging Ben Morrow. DeLong and Greathouse do nothing but lie in the shadows. Andrew Harris trying to join the fray as well. The 75 darting all over the place, trying to find a way past the 55.
If I'm Jason Green, I'm trying to not look through my windshield as much, but also my rearview mirror, as it looks like Austin DeLong is trying to do a little bit of side drafting to try to pull that 75 backwards, but not going to do much there, as the 75 is just really wheeling that thing. And he missed the bottom a little bit, but he able to get back on the exit, but DeLong's looking and hunting, and now he's going to try the top and see to make that work.
Morrow stays close to the tail of the 55 machine. We'll find a way a little further back here. Some side-by-side racing between teammates. McKinney, I'm sorry, it is teammates. McKinney and Stahl going at it for 7th.
And McKinney had a great run start earlier, started second on that front row. Starting to fall back a little bit here with those fresher tires. Maybe trying to protect a little bit more on that right sides. Trying to preserve them a little bit longer, but how about the 35 of Joshua Marcy a little bit? Started 21st, all the way in the side of the top 10 here.
Great.
Just right behind them. Really good run there. Ooh, that a little bit of a slip up there, running the middle lane. Oh man, stall is loose.
Nearly got up into the wall. But I like it. These drivers, they have to drive these trucks up off the corner here. It's not just smooth sailing.
And the big thing for some of these drivers too, Emerson, is how much wheel input are these guys going to put into their trucks? I mean, a little too much wheel input might be cooking that right rear a little bit more than you really should. Oh man, this is getting really dicey here.
Stall loose up the track. Sideways is Radke. They nearly come together. Marcy trying to find a way through, and Kalal trying not to get into it from behind. All over the place is this gaggle of trucks. That's what we love about it.
Ben Park there too.
Yep.
He had a little bit of a top 10 in that stage, but he's trying to get through this traffic a little bit too. He just can't go anywhere. I mean, you're stuck. Literally, look at this. Ben Park has nowhere to go here. His only option is to run the wall, and I don't really think he wants to do that right now, as he looks like he has a good opportunity here on Stall. Underneath him right there, and maybe try to send a little bit of a slide job going into turn 3. We'll see what he does here.
Great move here as Park works on Stall. Very tight up here. DeLong and Andrew Harris going at it.
And DeLong, I think, is starting to pay a little bit for running that top as long as he did. I think his tires are going to be a little shy. Everyone running this bottom, I think, is going to be... We're definitely going to see these guys on the bottom, Emerson. Probably be the ones start to make that charge towards the front here, towards the later part of this portion if it stays green.
Absolutely. If they keep that right front tire happy, that is everything. Really, when it comes to oval racing, that right front tire is key to long-term success.
Absolutely.
And pretty much any sort of oval discipline. Oh, nearly into the barrier there was, look at the 3 of Radke.
And the big thing with some of these drivers, Emerson, you could take it two ways. You can either try to work the right front and maybe also try to save the right rear, but doing that will kind of make the truck almost even, but burning the right rear, as we see Radke about just go up into the fence there with McKinney as well. But burning that right rear, you're going to be so loose.
Andrew Harris nearly went for a ride there off of turn number 2. Good catch there from the 87.
Man, Andrew Harris is being smart about this. He's making that 89 truck very aero dependent. He's hurting that truck handling wise. Any little sort of movement towards that quarter panel, you're going to aero affect the guy in front of you. Like as you see here with the 87 on the tight side right now underneath. Oh man, he about washed right up into Kyle Speeds there in the 25. He just got so aero tight.
Andrew Harris now, I think he's just trying to hang on to that thing, man. That thing is not doing what he wants it to right now. He is all over the place. Trying to hang on to that 87 while he's doing so inside the top 10 and tighten up once again. Morrow hasn't found a way past Jason Green just yet. It's McKinney trying on Harris.
And Harris, I think, is playing a little bit more defense than offense right now. And as everybody else is trying a little bit of offense, as Radke goes around McKinney, and now also Ben Parker is going to try to look around the outside, trying to get around the 46 as well. I think this top lane is starting to work in a little bit, but if I'm some of these drivers, I don't want to do it too soon. I want to do it maybe towards the later part of my run where you can start making moves on guys that are struggling and start to fall back.
Yeah, absolutely. All in moderation, right? You don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to stay too long either. You don't want to leave yourself with no time to use your tire. So I mean, it's a huge balancing act when you're talking about what you do with your right front tire, right? You do need to use it sparingly at some point, right? You can't just sit there, but you know, when you use that's the real art. That's what practice is for, and or the ones that just really understand the limit. Those are the ones that are going to excel in oval racing, and that's what you see pretty much on a consistent basis.
And this might be Morrow's best chance here. I'm looking towards the front. He's catching a little bit of lap traffic. I thought it would help Morrow a little bit, but it's actually hurting Morrow, actually, because Matthew Greyhouse caught up a heck of a lot just there to the back end of Morrow, and now he's all over the back end. Now he's looking to the outside of him on the front straightaway as Morrow's cutting the apron, trying to hopefully defend a little bit, but Greyhouse is still there on that right rear corner. Oh, man, Greathouse almost just put himself in the fence. He came up off the banking a little too soon. Oh, the wall. Oh, my goodness. He almost grazed the back end of Marlon, too. Oh, my goodness. These guys are so close to each other. They're almost like... It's like a little bit of a small misjudgment. Mara right there is going to the inside wall.
Oh, baby. That was close.
He does it again. He does it again.
But you know what, Ed? I think this is Ben Morrow paying for being very aggressive early.
Yeah, and also DeWan, too. I mean, DeWan was running the top for a while, too. But
he got by Morrow. I think Morrow made... Oh, we got caution in the back. Ryan, Aaron Gerwitz in trouble. Big time accident here.
Yeah, and the 53 as well. I don't know if he had this damage already, but he has
last week's winner.
Tailgate.
I think that's from the earlier... Oh, Carl Burke. He was involved in the last accident with Nathan De La Rosa. But... I'm gonna go back and see what happened here. You have it here pulled up. This is the 30 of Kyle Ryan, the 9 of Aaron Gerwitz, and they're trying to work past the 53. Gerwitz dives down to the inside, trying to avoid the 53 and contact. And Kyle Ryan and Aaron Gerwitz, they collect last week's winner, Carl Burke, in a heap of scrap metal up on the top side of the racetrack. Another turn 1 high side incident, but here we go. More trucks down the bottom side. Can they avoid it? Oh no! Someone just...
I think that's a 70. Yeah, that's a 71 of Spencer Brown.
Spencer Brown, nowhere to go.
It's going to be tough for race control to deem, too, because it could go either way. Like, it could go on Kyle Ryan or it can go on the 9. And I think they both just had, like, a different understanding. So I think Kyle knew they were going to be 3 wide, but I think he thought Gerwitz was going to be a little bit closer because I think Gerwitz was trying to give a little bit more space to the lap car.
Well, what we're doing here... Well, what we do now this season is race control does it all post-race. So they don't have to make this decision now, and there's going to be many ahead there in the discussion post-race with the admins. But the race off pit lane is green, followed by Morrow. DeLong, I believe, was second, third. Maybe flip it, DeLong over Morrow. And
great DeLong got it.
Wow.
I was going to say, that was really close. I couldn't even tell, to be honest with you.
Unbelievable. So... working our 4th caution period of the evening here at Chicagoland Speedway. And it has been a fun time to this point. Want to give a shout out to all of our partners here at Speed Racing Network. A shout out to, of course, Glytch for them coming back and joining us this season for a Truck Series partnership here. Make sure you use code SRN10 for 10% off of your Glytch energy purchases. Want to welcome new partner here to Speed Racing Network, Thermo Pro, joining us as of last week to take on the sponsor for our Wednesday series. And the Speed Racing Network Thermo Pro series, we are very grateful for Thermo Pro joining us, and use Thermo Pro Team for 15% off of your Thermo Pro purchases. And admin box, of course, has been on your screen most of the day. There they are once again, but make sure you use code SRN-box, that's BOXX, for 10% off of your admin box purchases. If you're watching on YouTube, want to just ask if you could please drop a like on the broadcast and subscribe for more Speed Racing Network content. We greatly appreciate it as we continue to strive for our subscription goals. And while we have you there, if you see that bright blue join button, that will give you access to the Speed Racing Network Premium Membership Program. For $4.99 a month, you can get access to the loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive wallpapers and photos, early access to new content, member shoutouts, members only live chats, and priority reply to comments. Again, to join today, hit that blue join button next to the subscribe button. Working our 4th caution period of the evening here. Jason Green, Austin DeLong, the front runners most of the day. Bun Morrow has approached the second half of the race ran to this point. Great House has been up there. Kyle Spees is joining the fray. Radke is right where he started. McKinney has lost 5 spots from where he started. Harris and Joshua Marcy joining the top 10, up 12, and Scott Claw the rest of the top 10.
This race has been wild ever since the start. I mean, we're seeing everybody try to go for it almost first 5 laps in. I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot of tire conservation, but it seems like a lot of these guys just want to take control of the lead.
Yeah, I mean, clean air, as you said, Ed, is king in any vehicle. It certainly does wonders here in the trucks as well. Here at Chicagoland, it gives more air to the right front than any other position in the pack. And, you know, you can really dictate what line works. You can put your truck into the corner wherever you see fit. And I believe we're going to see that again as we are just shy of halfway as the iRacing.com safety vehicle makes that hard left-hand turn into the safety of pit lane. And we have a little bit of a stack up on the restart. But nonetheless, we are green once again from Chicagoland. One lap removed from the restarted Jason Green, Ben Morrow, Matthew Greathouse, Austin DeLong, Kyle Spees, the top 5. Double wide all the way back after Ben Morrow. Here goes DeLong, looking high, trying to get that 75. Greathouse hanging station there in 3rd.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, but I think that was Andrew Harris. It looked like he was about to run the fence at that rate, because he couldn't go anywhere else. I don't think he wanted to stay behind Radke there, but I mean, this is about how they started. DeLong running the 2nd lane, trying to get through the front, with Radke and Harris trying to also follow in suit, but Greathouse and Morrow still running that bottom, trying to catch Green. And I think Green is just, it's like that scene in Lion King, Emerson, where the leader of the pack controls the pack, basically. But at this rate, I don't know who's going to be Simba in the end, though. So it's we got to figure that one out in about 50 laps. So, but
And we sure will.
it's going to be interesting. Yeah, we sure will. But it's going to be interesting to see how this poll plays out. As Ben got a really nice run there. He might look outside. I don't know if he's going to have enough to do with it.
It's starting to play out similar to a plate track where, you know what happens when you're in the heart of the pack. And we got a challenge for the lead. I guess I'll continue that point later. Ben Morrow, a big run on Jason Green. Will he be able to make something of it? He gets a wide arc into the corner, and Matthew Greathouse, hello, 13.
Yeah, you could say that again. I mean, holy cow. He set that in there, he's trying to protect, and he's got a heck of a run. Now he's going to try to look to the inside now. Jason Green now, too.
What Ben Morrow was trying to do, Greathouse took it, and he's doing it better. Big run down the back now. Greathouse, huge. Run contact for the race lead.
Oh, man. I don't know if Greathouse tried to do that intentionally. I think he was trying to do a little bit of side drafting to pull him back, but man, that was probably the first challenge that Jason Green's had all night so far. I mean, and that's going to be interesting because how is he going to maybe defend that again as Matt Greathouse looks to try to maybe set that up again.
Well, don't look too soon. We're going to go 3 wide for a second. No, Morrow thinks better of it, files in behind Greathouse. Maybe he's going to try to push Greathouse forward. Everyone packing up under one another. This pack is tight.
Where did Kyle Spees come from? He's in 2nd now.
Kyle Spees up 12 positions from where he started. How about Joshua Marcy up 14? And Dalton McKinney's gone around. Into the heart of the pack, Dalton McKinney goes. And the 46 Dalton McKinney, who was running inside the top 10 all day long, has gone for a ride off the nose of the 35 of Joshua Marcy. We've got it lined up here. Just the slightest bit of incidental contact from the left rear quarter panel will send the 46 spiraling across the infield. Luckily, no contact after the spin, and looks like Dalton McKinney will be A-okay. But that track position that Dalton McKinney was holding on to most of the night, gone in a split second.
Yeah, and that's definitely not how I don't think McKinney had that in mind. It was just a lot of chaos going on back through there, and I think it was just, you know, bad place, bad time, and 35 just got him in the bad angle and set him around, unfortunately. And I don't think, you know, the 35 had any mean of doing that on purpose. I don't think Marcy, you know, had intended that, but he'll come down, get some tires, and as I think a lot of other people as well came down pit road. And I see some people taking 2 tires, some people taking 4 tires. And who knows, maybe this will help them in the end. I don't know what the fuel strategy looks like, but maybe this will help them to the end, maybe.
Yeah, we gotta be very close. We're right now at 46 laps to go. I'd imagine about 10 laps or so, we would be right around that fuel window. And about 11 drivers did take the opportunity to pit under this caution period and either fit on a fresh set of virtual Goodyear Eagles or fill up those race trucks full of virtual Sunoco race fuel. And working lap 54 of 100, it sets them up nicely for the end of the race. Not for the end of the race, but the strategy is wide open for the rest of the way.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm a fan of like taking tire. Or do we go green for like about 6-7 laps right there? I just don't know if I want to take a set that early and waste it. I mean, I think everybody else has to think, you know, tires are so important. Like, you gotta maybe think about having a set in your back pocket.
Tires are very valuable here, and you do want that extra set. The way the series plans it out is they take the race distance, and then they take the amount of stops that is required to make that race distance, and then add 1, and that is the amount of tire changes you get per race. And so for this 100-lap race, you think about it's about a 2-3 stop race. At max, these guys are getting 4 sets of tires, 3 really, for a 100-lap race here at a mile and a half, only 150 miles. You do have to be a little frugal with your tire spending, if you will.
And I'm looking through these front 10 right now, and I'm hearing a lot of engine cutoffs and fuel saving. So I think it's in everybody's mind here, maybe to save a little bit of fuel to maybe make it on a 1-stop.
So this time out will be 45 laps to go. We still wait for 1 to green here from Chicagoland. We'll take a quick moment to shout out our social media outlets where we are becoming ever more active. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Speed Racing Network, our X page at Speed Racing Net, our Instagram at Speed Racing Network. Of course, most of you are watching live on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Speed Racing Network, our Twitch at Speed Racing Net, our LinkedIn at linkedin.com/company/Speed Racing Network, and of course the website where you can keep up with all sorts of news, schedules, points, and all that jazz is waiting for you at speedracingnetwork.com. Double up and getting ready to go. Working lap 56 of 100 here from the Windy City. We're just outside of it. Joliet, Illinois. Jason Green, Kyle Spees, Matthew Greathouse, Austin DeLong, Ben Morrow, Andrew Harris, Joshua Marcy, Scott Kalal, Ben Park, and Byron McDonald. The top 10 here from Chicagoland. As the field paces double wide behind the iRacing.com safety vehicle. Still 30 drivers running on the lead lap. Kyle Ryan 1 lap off the pace. Michael Seidor, call it 8. Carl Burke, last week's winner, will be 11 laps down, and so it will not be back-to-back to start the season for Carl Burke. Taking early exits tonight, Nathan De La Rosa, James Jackson, and Daniel Miglin, as Rylan Acciano did not take the green flag tonight. And so the iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety in the pit lane, the field in the hands of Jason Green, as it's been all night long, and green flag back in the air here from Joliet. A lap or so removed from the restart is Jason Green, Matthew Greathouse, and Kyle Spees making a hard charge to the front there on the high side. Big run there, big push from Austin DeLong, and that blue number 25 challenging for second.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at 87 of Andrew Harris, too. He's been hanging around this top 5 for most of the night. I know started back in 9th. And then also right behind him, another guy that's been noticing the front a little bit tonight as well with Ben Morrow hanging around that 6th position. A lot of side-by-side going on here. But Kyle Spees battling with Matthew Greathouse for second. This is all going to help Jason Green a little bit pull away, but Kyle Spees is starting to edge out a little bit more and more.
As the field works their way around the Chicagoland Speedway double wide, using all that excess runoff on the bottom side of the racetrack, using all the lanes up on the high side of the racetrack. 40 laps to go this time by the start finish line. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna hear a quick message from our partners here at Speed Racing Network. Welcome, race fans, back to the Chicagoland Speedway. Apologies for the technical difficulties. It is hard fought battling atop the scoring pylon. Kyle Spees bringing the first real challenge to Jason Green all day long, and Kyle Spees will overtake for the race lead. He is clear of Jason Green. Andrew Harris filing behind the 25 machine. Green will fight back on the inside, but Spees was the lone driver clear of the 55, and oh, near contact for Jason Green and the top side of the racetrack there.
Yeah, and a lot of help right there for Kyle Spees from Andrew Harris. A lot of shoving down the straightaways, helping him get clear almost of Jason Green. As Harris had a moment off of turn 2, now Spees is going to be all by himself. Going to have to maybe try to pull some maneuvers to try to hold off Jason Green, but for the first time tonight, we might be seeing a new leader.
Well, he got the last lap led. Jason Green fighting hard on the inside. He shoots up the track. Spees drops down the elevator move from the top side to the bottom side. Side by side as now Spees down on the inside. Green has more room to play with on the high side, but don't look too soon. They are 3 abreast behind the double wide fight for the race lead.
And Austin DeLong got put in the sucker hole back there. He's going to be all by himself, I think. Looks like the 35 of Marcy might be trying to get him in line, or he might be trying to help his teammate of Greathouse, but in the sucker hole right now, and Jason Green is doing all he can to fight back on this top side. I haven't seen Jason much run this top line all night so far.
Behind.
Oh, man.
DeLong and Morrow got into it physically. Oh, no! The 35 of Joshua Marcy slides across the infield. What a catch from the 35 machine.
Yeah, a little contact with Ben Park there. I don't think Ben had any meaning of that, but what a heck of a save on the 35 there. But I think everyone's starting to get a little antsy here. Everyone's trying to get up to the front, do what they can. But I'm seeing a lot of antsy moves out of some of these drivers here. Kyle Spees, I think, is starting to fade a little bit, maybe trying to get some help from Andrew Harris. I don't know if they're exactly teammates. I don't know if they work under the same umbrella or not, but I know Matthew Greathouse is looking for a little bit of help here as well. I think Matthew Greathouse is that little sleeper pick that's hanging around all here. But Jason Green in clean air again, as we saw all night, trying to pull away from the rest of this field.
2/3 of the way down here from Joliet. 1/3 of the race to go. This time I will be 34 circuits around the Chicagoland Speedway here tonight at Joliet, Illinois. Chicagoland Speedway. It's side by side for that 4th position between Greathouse and DeLong. Jason Green holds station atop of a scoring pylon once again. Kyle Spees and Andrew Harris, they are now battling it out for that 2nd position. Green, Harris, Spees, DeLong, Greathouse, the top 5. Morrow, Park, Kalal, McDonald, and Babb, the top 10.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of, I think I used up a little of my stuff. Now you go try to catch him, and we'll try to see if we can catch them together from Spees and Harris there. I think Kyle tried to pull everything he can out of his tires with that, but doing all this, I mean, Jason Green's kind of walking away a little bit. It's about 3/10 of a lead here. Trying to go into turn 1 here, but we got Andrew Harris in second. DeLong now starting to come back into the picture here, back into the top 3. Oh, man, Greathouse had a moment. A really big moment off of turn 2.
Oh, yeah. That one was huge from the 13 machine. Good catch there, but you're right. Jason Green is scooting away, and coming off of last week's podium finish at Daytona, Jason Green is looking to really start the season off with a bang, with a great unscathed finish there at Daytona to maybe get something done here at Chicagoland. He's been utterly dominant today. He has led probably well over 65 laps, and we are only on lap 69 of 100. And Jason Green is showing this field that he is the man when it comes to these mile and a halves to so far to start the season.
I mean, would you say this is Jimmy Johnson kind of dominance here? I mean, Jimmy, Jimmy doesn't have that kind of pole type speed, but the way his crew manages to get his car better and better, I mean, and he just shows up in the end. But I mean, Jason Green's had one of those kinds of nights where it just seems like that truck has just been absolutely dominant in clean air. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna see once, hopefully not see, what a dirty air, but I mean, the truck's just been on rails.
I mean, I have no idea what the comp would be for Green here, but it's been something else at a track that is so aero and draft dependent, and so many fierce competitors right on the tailgate of that 55 machine, and yet only one has been able to get that nose ahead. And Green has fought hard all night long. I mean, a master class of defending.
The only thing I think that would hurt him, Emerson, honestly, is a green flag pit stop. Somebody short pits him and gets out in front. I mean, I think it's going to be hard for him to pass. I mean, we've seen it all night. It's hard to pass. You get out that guy in front as we see. Oh, my goodness, that 99 just about. Oh, he about got turned by Jim McDonald there. That was close. I mean, when the spot says clear, you're definitely clear, but that was a little close to being clear.
Last second kind of clear there. Wally Babb, Byron McDonald, and Jeffrey Radke were 3 abreast the last time out of turns 3 and 4. Byron McDonald working his way backwards down the running order. Little further back here, Michael Lepicki and Gregory Thurlow going at it here for the 15th position.
Not a bad run for Mike tonight either. I mean, Mike started all the way back in 35th. He's battling up here for 15th.
He is cooking.
And to be fair, too, Mike had a really good season last season, too.
Yeah, made the playoffs. 2 wins last season. It's only up for this 22 machine out of Tank Racing. And you were part of the team for a little bit, Ed. You kind of saw where Mike was at. He has definitely improved as a driver. He is continuing to improve his craft season over season. For the longest time, it felt like it's going to take a while for Mike to get to that 2,000 iRacing mark. And while he hasn't gone to that point, he's gone to 1,800, which is probably about 300 to 500 more than where he was when I last, thoroughly checked in on Mike's iRacing. So Mike has steadily been working his way up the ranks here on iRacing and continue to improve.
Yeah, I hate to judge the conversation here, Emerson. We're seeing some green flag stops. The leader's coming in. We got Andrew Harris, the whole pack's coming. Everybody's coming just about.
Many trucks on the pit lane. The 35 of Joshua Marcy maybe overshot a little bit, but Green, Harris, DeLong, McDonald, Kalal, Long, Thurlow, Nestor, Sloutier, De Silva, and Hines all down the pit lane.
And this is, like I said, this is the only thing that can hurt Jason Green's night. He has to have a clean stop into his box. Make sure he gets out in front. This is the only thing that can hurt him, is if any of these guys get in front of him and see how he is in the dirty air. He's had clean air the whole night. I'm wondering if some of these guys maybe might play a little strategy.
More trucks coming in, down and away. Looks like it will be the 55 now. Morrow, Park, Spees, Greathouse, and Lepicki coming in. And this will be the stop to make it to the end.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the gap is going to be like with these guys coming out. I'm interested to see if they maybe close the gap of how hard they ran that last lap. Andrew Harris maybe closed maybe just a little bit, and he's still pushing a little bit on Jason Green. Here comes Ben Morrow. The leader's just at the start-finish line now. I think they're going to clear him.
The race is there. Jason Green bypassing Ben Morrow and Andrew Harris. Dalton McKinney has hit the pit lane, all by his lonesome.
Tough for Dalton tonight. He had a good truck in the beginning. Got an unfortunate turn. Got one yellow. I don't think he's been able to recover since.
Battle for the lead. Teammates here. Wally Babb, Jeffrey Radke doing battle.
And Jeffrey Radke's had a nice little quiet night too. He's been running top 10 most of the night tonight. And I know Wally Babb's out here leading, but starting from 26, getting a couple laps, that should be hell for your points.
Yeah, knock yourself a couple bonus points as Jason Kratke pits, and now here comes Radke on Babb, and Radke goes to the point. Andrew
And we got an
Harris
interesting, yeah, I was gonna say, Emerson, we got an interesting situation. Harris got to the outside of Green off of turn 4, has been able to hang on that quarter panel. He's still side by side with him.
And this is it. This is now or never, right? You can't sit behind a 55 all race and, you know, when an opportunity presents itself, still sit behind him, right? You got to do something about it. He's going for it. That's what Harris is doing. He's not going to let this opportunity go by the wayside. Near contact.
I mean, yeah, this has to be the time you have to go. I mean, you got to try to push as hard as you can here. The only thing I'm going to be interested in to see is how hard is Andrew going to push his tires. We still got to go another 20 laps to that checkered flag.
Oh, boy. This could be huge, this lapper.
Oh, Jason's really trying to squeeze him up there, but Andrew's not having any of it.
Oh, man. Oh, baby.
Oh, another one out in front. Oh, this might be interesting.
Oh, that's the 51.
Too.
Nowhere to go. Parks it in front of Harris. Oh, that's huge.
Oh, split at 3.
3 abreast.
They're still going to be side by side going into turn 1.
Oh, my goodness.
If I'm Andrew, you got to try to cross him over. He's got to try to cross him over.
He's got to. He's got to run. He goes for it. Little contact.
Oh, he hit him a little.
Oh, man. Radke's stalling bad. They all pit, but we keep our eyes on the battle for the theoretical race lead.
If I'm Harris, I got to keep that in my mind. That crossover works, but you just got to be able to ship it.
He's trying, man. But Green is doing a great job at defending.
Oh, man.
This is fantastic stuff.
That back end of that tailgate's more of a shield than anything else right now for Jason Green.
Yes, it is. Jeffrey Vickery, Daniel Park, Sean Corcoran, they still leave. Spencer Brown is on the pit lane, but this is the battle for 5th right now on the racetrack will become the battle for the race lead.
And the big thing is how hard these two are pushing. I mean, the guy next in line is Ben Morrow. I mean, I know he's a little bit further behind, but I mean, anything happens between these two, Ben's gonna catch him. It's both him and Kyle Spees. I mean, Ben's got a little bit of a gap to Spees, but these two are gonna keep pushing, and it's gonna hurt them both. Probably.
Yeah, something amiss for Sean Corcoran on the pit lane, but we continue at it here. Green and Harris nose to tail around the Chicagoland Speedway, and Vickery is coming down the pit lane. So this will become the battle for the race lead, but these two are nose to tail, and they can't get rid of one another.
And Andrew's got to try. I know it's hard to say because, you know, me being a driver, I understand it a little bit more possibly, but it's like,
yeah,
you got to try to peek your left front out a little bit more. That left front on these trucks is going to be the beneficial of how you're going to help your entry here. You want to try to keep as much clean air on that left front as possible.
Going
and
at
we got
it
2
here.
more lap trucks up front that might play a factor as well.
This is going to be huge here. And so the field has cycled around. Green and Harris, the top 2. Morrow, 3rd. Who wants this one more?
And Morrow's running about a 10th. Oh, we got a slow truck on the top in front of the leaders.
No!
Oh, my goodness. I about had a heart attack.
Oh,
there's a
my
caution.
goodness!
Oh, no,
no,
he came down.
Oh, that is a
no.
horrific crash. I know it is a sim.
I think I just got Quinn Howe flashbacks. He was all the 3rd lane, and I don't even know what I just saw.
Oh, my goodness. What is he doing? What is this guy doing?
That definitely, I feel like, will get the attention of race control a little bit.
So he toes back to the pit lane. And let's be real, this was happening for a minute. We're gonna look back and see what happened here.
So he just came over the radio and said he had wheel issues, apparently, going into turn 3.
Yeah, he's hoping he had wheel issues at that. That did
not
crazy.
that did not look good at all.
Wow.
Oh, that. You know, I hate to say I've seen worse, Emerson, but I don't think I have. And it's tough to say because I mean, it just looks really bad from up here.
So here's what happened. This is the replay. What happened to the 20 machine?
And he says right about here, he said he had a wheel issue.
Oh. But he keeps it up on the high side. Then he turns off the the wall. There goes the leaders.
And I was gonna say, if he had a wheel issue too, he would have just kept going straight. But then I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of that at all.
Oh.
Stopping in the middle of the track while the leaders are coming through.
Not the best move there.
I don't know who that was that clipped him either. I don't couldn't see who it was.
I believe that was the. I actually can't get.
It was the 35. It was actually the 35 of Marcy. It was Marcy.
I couldn't get a 100% positive ID on it. We're gonna ride on board with Josh Marcy for that one. This was a heavy duty impact.
And Marcy before the stops too was about, finishing 11th. He was in 11th place, I believe, if I'm counting right.
Yeah, one more look at it here. My goodness.
Oh boy. This is where it's going to play interesting, Emerson, because all those guys that saved that set, this is where you can use them.
Yep.
But I think the big beneficiary and all that, and you could see him right there in 4th place, Mike Lepicki. Mike Lepicki was staying out for that whole cycle, and now he's back in. He's in the top 5.
Well, here we go, Ed. 13 laps to go for the restart. It'll be 12. What's been a wild night to this point is only going to get better. It is Jason Green and Andrew Harris. By the way, they have been hard on they've been very aggressive the last few laps. This is going to be intriguing here to the end. There's Mike Lepicki, as you said. Right? Go for it.
If I'm seeing it right, too, I think Ben Morrow and everybody else behind him came in and took tires, and I think Jason Green and them stayed out.
Yeah, the top 4 stayed out.
And I think Racky's on 2. Because I saw Ben Morrow took 4. I think everybody in front of him took 2.
Well, here we go. Very intriguing. The storylines only get spicier. 12 laps to go. And the iRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety down in the pit lane. The field in the hands of Jason Green. And racing once again from Joliet, Illinois. 1 lap removed from the restart. Jason Green trying to play very heavy defense on the bottom side of the racetrack. Green knows if anyone gets to his inside, it could be game over. DeLong now up to second.
And everybody's minds right here. This is all qualifying laps from here on out.
Yep.
10 to go. You ain't saving nothing. You give me everything you got, all you can do right now to try to get that lead.
This is going to be the most energy we've seen in the pack, really, since the last lap at Daytona.
Oh my goodness, we about for we got a wreck back in turn 4. I was about to say we had a 4 wide going into out of turn 4. I knew this was not going to end well.
Nothing lighting up on the scoring pylon, but Zachary Hines is the truck that did come across some sort of way. There's no rear end on that Ford truck, so and I guess that is what we're looking for here.
There's also damage on the 15 of Dustin's. I don't know how. What is it? Slutier? I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. Yeah, I saw damage on his end too. Oh yeah, there he is, right on the top, right there on the wall.
Yeah. Here we go. We found it. It was a 3 wide scenario. The 38, Gregory Thurlow on the inside. Oh, Slutier hit from ahead of this.
65 of 8 Graham. Maybe some contact there.
Big hit there. But a 30 machine, once again, a Kyle Ryan, Walt Lepicki, nowhere to go. And then he gets ran over by the 86 of Michael Sidor. Wow.
Big one right off of turn 4. This is where I said everybody's got to go all out. And they went all out.
We're going to have to find out what happened to the 15. I think you might have hit the nail on the head. We'll go back and investigate. So we're going to catch it a little late here, but it is 65 of Aiden Graham making the contact with Slutier.
Maybe a little neck code or something, I would imagine, maybe. There was some tight racing all the way around, so
yeah.
It would definitely make sense. And just nowhere for the 4 to go, 64. Everybody involved in that.
Here you go. Looks like we found our way a little here. The corner. They just kind of met. I think
the 15 may have thought possibly the 65 was going to run a little lower, and I think he didn't expect him to run a little lane higher or something like that. Made a little contact, maybe.
Sure, I'd buy that.
There's a casual racing incident. That's just aggressive racing there.
Absolutely.
Now, this restart, and I've been keeping track of Jason Green's restarts a little bit. All right.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
He's been firing off really, really soon. Now, when he does it, you know, it helps him on the entry into turn 1 with nobody there. But off of turn 2, it's almost like you said with pack racing. Everybody swallows him up off of turn 2. That's where DeLong just got the run to almost get to his quarter panel. If I'm him in this situation, and maybe coming possibly later on in these situations if we get another yellow, I kind of want to think about starting later.
Sure.
I don't want to have them have that opportunity again, because it's going to put him, I feel like, in a bad spot. And you know, with how these situations are going to go here, with how aggressive people are going to be, you know, Radke, Harris, DeLong, Dan Park, we haven't mentioned, Corey Stahl, all these guys want to get the win. Jason Green's like all night. These guys are saying it's my time. I want to be the one to win it. And who knows? It might be one of those races where we have a race winner that only led the last lap. But if I'm Jason Green, I do not want to take off. I don't want to take off early here. I think I want to go a little later.
I think you hit that analysis right on the head, Ed. Absolutely. And you have the experience there of seeing this in the higher strength of fields on iRacing. You know, we're not to diminish anything that this field is done, because I gotta say there's been some fantastic racing from this field, but we're talking, let's call it about a 2K SOF. We're talking here. You know, not bottom of the barrel, not even, you know, rookies, but you know, a couple notches above, maybe, a good solid, let's call it C class, B class field, right? And that's the kind of mentalities we're seeing, right? And Jason Green has been able to take advantage of it to this point, but at some point these guys start to learn. And I think you think of the smarter drivers, Radke, who made a very deep playoff run last season.
Harris has won races before. He's been through this situation.
And you look at these guys, I mean, they have been studying these restarts just as you had. And we're going to see it here as the iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety down the pit lane. Racing once again here from Chicagoland. Ooh. Big dives from all over. Oh my goodness! The long trying to get down there. How about Dan Park in the 7 truck?
Dan Park went and measured him all night on that caution. He got lucky with the late caution, got tires, and now he's up battling for the win possibly in this 7 truck.
Make something happen. The time is now. We're going to have a wreck. Oh, they catch it. Oh, no, they don't.
Oh, there they go. Ben Park, Dalton McKinney's upside down.
Up and over. Dalton McKinney up and over.
That was a big one.
7, 8, 9 trucks involved, many which were running inside the top 10. Dalton McKinney goes for the ride of his Speed Racing Network career. And we have hit overtime, Ed.
Wow. Just wow, man. I mean, holy cow. That was a heck of a wreck. I mean, McKinney, I hope he's okay.
That wreck was happening for a minute, too.
Yeah, and I was looking a little bit back there with Kyle Speeds because he was trying everything, and it all started to look like from Ben Morrow and Ben Park.
Yeah,
from that area there.
Trying to find a wider shot here, but you see most of it.
That took out a lot of contenders that we had early in that race.
Yeah, it did. Here we go. The contact already kind of started. The bends get into it. And then Park comes down, gets nowhere to go for Michael Lepicki.
Yeah, and that there, I think Ben was just trying to gather it all back up again, and Mike was coming with a run.
Look at McKinney here.
Yeah, McKinney. Oh my goodness, that was a ride. I mean, he was all at the bottom of the track, and he just got sideswiped right in the right rear. That's the worst type of thing you can get hit, is when you get right reared and you can't even see that truck on your outside. That's the worst type of hit.
Gotta go back and see the incident there, but yeah, I mean, McKinney took a big hit there on the high side of the racetrack, and
I mean, like I said, we got a bunch of contenders that were in that. McKinney, Park was in it, Greathouse was in it, Kowal. There's a lot of good trucks right there that were taking out right there.
See here from this angle, bit of a wider angle here.
And like I said, I mean, McKinney's just gonna, can't even see it, get right reared, and then just enjoy the ride from here.
That's unfortunate. Most of that we saw live, but wicked accident there in turns 3 and 4. So back at it here. Back up front, Jason Green, Austin DeLong, Dan Park. After brother Ben got into the accident, Dan is still up here. Jeffrey Radke, again, made a deep playoff run. Actually, am I kidding? Well, check
Did he make it to the championship, I'm pretty sure?
I was like, he won the title.
Yeah, I was like, wait. I think he won the title, man.
Well, he did make a deep playoff run, but he won the title. It was.
Yeah, I'm also looking at Wally Babb, man. I mean, Wally Babb was the last car that stayed out and ran all those laps to try to lead laps, and he's all the way up here fighting for a top 5.
Unbelievable.
It's wild how that strategy worked out for some of these guys. I mean, Dan Park, Wally Babb, Mike Lipicki, Robert Nestor. I don't think I said his name once tonight in the 36. And he's in 11th.
Yeah.
Even though he
right
started
there.
7th.
But
Somebody needs to get
but
this
he
man
hasn't
some
gone
sponsorship, though. No, somebody needs to get this man some sponsorship. That truck too blank to be running higher in the top 10. With no sponsors.
He's
on
part
it.
of JB's squad. JB's got to get on it.
JB's a Minnesota Vikings fan, right? I mean, just stick some Vikings logo on there. JB, come on.
Oh man. But you recapped it well there, Ed. We will hit overtime. Technically right now we would be taking the white flag, but next lap we'll be taking the green flag. It's Jason Green, Austin DeLong, Daniel Park, last season's champion Jeffrey Radke, Andrew Harris, Wally Babb, Kyle Spees, Corey Stahl, Ben Morrow, and Michael Lipicki.
What would you want to be here, Emerson, on this? Would you want to be on defense like Jason Green or on offense like DeLong and Park?
I think I'd rather be in the booth where I am. Oh man, neither of those spots is really enviable. But it's hard. It's hard to say anything about that 55 truck all night long, Ed. He's had defense all night.
See if he can finish the job here. I mean, we got 3 attempts at this. He just needs to get to that white flag and then
That's all he needs.
send it to the Bahamas.
And so, first overtime attempt here from the Windy City as the iRacing.com safety vehicle will find its safety down in the pit lane. The field in the hands of Jason Green and racing once again from Chicagoland. Overtime here from Joliet. Dan Park with the run. Looking to the outside, trying to get a nice arc through the center of 1 and 2.
I mean, what a jump from Dan Park. It was like he was under comms with Jason Green there. He went at the same time the leader. And I was going to be battling for a win here. Jason Green doing the smart thing, racing like a super speedway, want to protect that white line, but I'm watching this top lane, and it's not really seeing the form in here, but we're going to be coming around turn 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. I'm looking at Andrew Harris, trying to make some moves on Dan Park. What can Dan do to possibly get the win?
White flag, this race is official. Dan, he's got to try for it. He looks to the outside. He's on that quarter panel. He's trying to block Andrew Harris. Harris gets down to the inside. Side by side there for that second position. Park trying to get something done on the high side. Green defending well there on the inside.
Green trying to defend all he can. Harris is going to try to split it on the top, trying to power it down, but just watching up the track, it looks like Green's going to walk away with this coming off of turn 4.
Wrecking behind, Jason Green is going to win it here at Chicagoland. Huge hits behind Jeffrey Radke, Daniel Park, Austin DeLong, Zach Maroney, Dustin Slutier destroyed race trucks after the fact, but one piece is the 55 of Jason Green, who's going to Glytch Truck Series victory lane tonight.
From start to finish, Ev, I mean, just dominated from both ends of the track. Defense and offense. Even though it was a little bit of both of defense.
A worthy winner tonight here in the Glytch Truck Series from the Chicagoland Speedway. The show that Jason Green put on tonight, utter dominance here from the Windy City. And we're going to make our switch over, Ed, as we have some post-race interviews to go through this evening. And as we will bring on up the drivers we need to talk to, and we'll start with driver of the number 55 winner here from the Chicagoland Speedway, Jason Green. And could you have asked to start your season any better, Jason?
I don't think so, Emerson. No, I don't think so. Yeah, no, just had to run a really clean race there. Tried to keep track position as much as you could, right? And then, yeah, by the end of it, just those restarts kind of fell my way. Once again, just kind of being the leader, understanding when to really take off on those restarts and come away up top. That's fantastic.
Now, Jason, I have to say that was some of the most brilliant defense I have ever seen start to finish in a truck race. I mean, that was something else. I know you didn't lead every lap, but you led almost every lap just playing that defense out on the bottom side. How did you do it? How did you not let anyone rattle you? How did you not let anyone who, when drivers did get to your inside, the very few times it did happen, how did you keep calm and fight back?
Yeah, it's tough because you really do have to play, like you're saying, play defense. You have to understand where the runs are coming from, and you kind of have to understand if there's somebody coming up top and not necessarily blocking, but letting them cut up top or letting them get beside you, so that when you come out the corner, usually the guy on the bottom will pull up along next to them. Just anything to keep them side by side, right? It's just consistently lap after lap after lap, making sure that no big runs are coming, being in the right spot. And then yeah, just having to do that for like 100 straight laps. That was exhausting. I'm tired.
I mean, rightfully so, man. You did everything right tonight, and it paid off. Absolute dominance tonight, back-to-back podiums. I mean, you're gonna have a huge advantage here in the points, Jason. Yeah, I mean, a brilliant start to the season, and next week is the Milwaukee Mile. So, how do you see yourself doing there, and potentially trying to increase your point lead?
Yeah, well, that's always been the goal, right? Just trying to get that championship. I know last year just missing a couple races and key spots wasn't the best, but yeah, definitely going to Milwaukee was pretty good there last year. It's going to be a really fun race. It's always an exciting time going back there. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's got, like you said, it's got to keep stringing these top 5 finishes week after week. That's the goal right now.
Well, there you go, Jason Green. Congratulations on the dominant race victory tonight. Best luck to you the rest of the way this season, man.
Thank you, Emerson. Appreciate it. Gotta shout out my folks, everybody that tunes in. Gotta shout out Hopeless Astronauts. They're on board again this year for the second time. Bird Dog Racing, great guys over there. Super excited. We're gonna get done this year.
Absolutely. And so that was race winner, driver of the number 55 out of Bird Dog Racing, Jason Green. And now we will move on to Ed Shearer, who's standing by for a second place finisher tonight, Andrew Harris.
Hey, Andrew, I mean, you had everything you needed there in the end. I mean, maybe fighting Dan a little bit shorter, but I mean, is there anything else you could have done there? I know that trying to top was the only way. It was hard to pass with how Jason was defending it, but was there anything else you maybe could have done to maybe try to get yourself in victory lane?
I don't think so. He was so strong all race. Like you said, dominant for sure. My tires were gone. That's why I slid way up the track. I thought maybe if I could make it stick, I was full throttle, just everything I had. If I could make it stick, maybe I had a run on him, but I just had no tires left. But dominant, good win for Jason.
Now, of course, it was a great run for you guys all night tonight. I mean, you guys had the opportunity with you and Kyle there. I believe it was like midway in the point where you guys were pushing each other, getting to the front. It just seemed like that top group didn't come in as much as I thought it would. Now, I know it was hard to think, but, it's like, could you have done anything, maybe, I don't know, try the wall or something else? I mean, I know this track is usually the bottom groove prevails and everything, but you had your chance there with that green flag cycle and everything, and I just don't know if maybe that caution had come out. You think you maybe would have had a better shot at that then when you did now?
Yeah, that caution that came out after we did our green flag pits, it was me and Jason. I don't think anybody else was going to have any run with us up there. It was going to be me and Jason. We fought for about 2 or 3 laps there. I decided that I was just going to get behind him and push and run away from everybody else. And I think that if that would have went green all the way to the rest of the way, I think I would have had a good shot there. I think I was a little bit, I don't want to say faster, but I think the person behind has a advantage because they can use the draft and pull. The top side was coming in. There was, if you could push them down to the bottom and really hold them down there, you could get a good run. The tires there at the end, I think me, Jason, and a handful of guys didn't take tires. I think some did. I don't think that worked out the way that they were hoping it was. But I was really worried about the guys coming with the tires.
Yeah, and actually we go to a completely different track than where we're at tonight. We go to a Milwaukee Mile. Definitely a little bit, almost like a short track-ish kind of type. What do you think about your chances there possibly getting your first win on the season?
I definitely don't think you'll see me up there in the top 2 next weekend or next week. I think that I do better on these 1.5 2-mile kind of cookie cutter style. It just fits my racing better. I'm not so good with what's that pedal that's in the middle there? I think it's
Yeah, the brake pedal, yeah.
I'm not so good with that one.
Well, no matter what, I mean, it was a great night for you overall, Andrew. Congratulations on your great finish, and we'll see you next week at the Milwaukee Mile.
Absolutely, we'll see you there.
And that was our second place finisher, driver of the number 87 machine. I don't think it's virtual racing, Andrew Harris. And now we have third place finisher, driver of the number 25 out of Lucky Dog Racing, Kyle Spees. And Kyle, you missed you out on last week, but with that being said, back-to-back podiums. A great start to the season for you, man. How about it?
I really enjoy finishing podium back-to-back races. Not a lot of practice this off-season. Just jumping back into the league to get back into iRacing personally. Coming in Daytona, I'm always pretty good there. Thought I could finish good. Tonight, really tough battle. Great battle from everybody around. And hats off to first and second there. Like you said, a few pit strategies changed the outcome and a few cautions.
Well, there you go, Kyle. And with tonight, it was very, very aggressive up there. How did you, first of all, work your way up from that 14th starting position up to this point? But how did you maintain up there, without overdoing it? How did you keep your right front tire happy? How did you keep yourself in check to not overdo it over the course of 100 laps here?
Tonight was a big tester for me, just to basically was my practice throughout the race. So starting the race, my mindset was just go in there and coast and not eat the tire as much so I can get strategy plans on what to do. And after we figured out what was going on and some guys started to fall due to tires and then a few cautions, guys fell, I ended up gaining those spots, which helped. And then just after having all the information just from doing laps and laps and laps tonight, luckily we had a few good green flag stints that helped me out. And then after that, I just kind of narrowed it in to get my position and where I wanted to try to battle tonight.
There you go, Kyle. Once again, congratulations on the podium this evening. Next up is the Milwaukee Mile. How about it?
Just another practice one. I got to put a lot of work. Not one of my favorite tracks. Like you said, it's a short track. I don't mind short tracks, but that's just not one of my favorites. Hopefully, I do get a podium. I'm always hoping. So if it happens, it happens, but time to put some practice in.
All right, Kyle. Well, congratulations again on the double podium to start the season. And best luck to you next week as we head to the Milwaukee Mile. And so that was driver of the number 25, Kyle Spees. And that was our podium finishers tonight, Ed. With that, we have the rest of our finishing results to go through this evening, and they'll be up on the screen as we speak. And there they are. We'll go through it. Jason Green with the race victory. How about an Andrew Harris, who finished second? Kyle Spees finished third, and then it was Wally Babb finishing in that fourth position. Ben Morrow to round out the top 5. Jeffrey Radke will finish 6th. Corey Stahl 7th. Bob Nestor 8th. Austin DeLong 9th. And Dan Park rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, Michael Lipicki with a great strategy there in the end. Coming out with all brand new tires, finishing 11th. Jason Kratky in 12th with Spencer Brown rounding out 13th. Derek De Silva in 14th, along with Sean Corcoran in 15th. Aaron Gerwitz, who had some little bit of trouble tonight, finished 16th, along with Matthew Greathouse, who had a great run early on in the race, had a little bit of issues there in the end, finishing 17th, with Scott Kalal 18th, Ben Park in 19th, and Dustin Sluter in 20th.
Finishing 21st tonight will be Walt Lipicki. Last driver on the lead lap. 22nd will be Aiden Graham. 23rd, then Zach Hines. Coming home 2 laps down will be Byron McDonald. Also finishing 25th will be Sean Long. 26th, then Jeffrey Vickery. 6 laps down, Dalton McKinney finishing 27th. Joshua Marcy will finish 28th. Sergey Thurlow 29th, and Michael Sidor 30th. Ed, take us to the end.
Yeah, last week's winner in Daytona, Carl Burke, finishes in 31st. Kyle Lyon in 32nd, along with Zach Maroney in 33rd. James Jackson in 34th, along with Nathan DeRosa in 35th. Daniel Miglin in 36th, rounding out the field.
And Rylan Fasciano did not take the green flag this evening. That is how the 36 drivers who did start tonight's race get to the end tonight. And there it is, our race winner, driver of the number 55, dual podiums to start the season himself, and Kyle Spees. Ed, how about it? Great race, craziness all over the place, strategy, and brilliant defense from that man right there.
Yeah, I mean, heck of a race from start to finish. Got the pole, won the first stage, and ended up coming home with the checkered flag. It was a heck of an effort from everybody else in the field. I mean, it was just great racing overall. I know some drivers didn't have their kind of night tonight, but I mean, if it's a sign of what we're going to see next week, sign me up.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you join us for that show, Ed. But of course, we couldn't have done it without all of our partners here at Speed Racing Network, Glytch, ThermoPro, and Admin Box. Make sure you use code SRN10 for 10% off of your Glytch energy products. It's ThermoProtein for 15% off of your ThermoPro products. And Admin Box, make sure you use code SRN-box, that's BOXX, for 10% off of your Admin Box purchases. Check out the socials, our Facebook at Speed Racing Network, our X page at Speed Racing Net, our Instagram at Speed Racing Network, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Speed Racing Network, where you can also check out the premium membership there for $4.99 a month. You become a Speed Racing Network premium member, get access to loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive wallpapers and photos, early access to content, member shoutouts, members only live chat, and priority reply to comments. For $4.99 today, you can become a premium member. But while you're there on the YouTube channel, drop a like, hit subscribe. We would greatly appreciate all the support that comes in over there. Our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/speedracingnet, LinkedIn at linkedin.com/company/speedracingnetwork, and the website where you can keep up with everything SRN, news, schedules, points, and all that jazz waits for you at speedracingnetwork.com. Well, that'll do it for us here from the Chicagoland Speedway. Thank you all so much for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all at Speed Racing Network, Ed Shearer and myself, Emerson Arden, in the virtual booth this evening, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night when the ThermoPro series continues it here from the Windy City, or next Tuesday night when Glytch trucks take to the Milwaukee Mile.